What's good, y'all? It's the one and only Nappyhead Fred coming back to y'all with another album review. I'm sorry I have not uploaded in a while. It's definitely because life has been hitting me left to right. Not in a bad way, but I've just been doing a lot of stuff, just trying to figure out everything as a person. Y'all know how it is. If y'all work a everyday job, y'all kind of get the idea of kind of that whole situation. But we are doing an album review, and today we are going to be reviewing LL Cool J, Mr. Smith. This is LL Cool J's sixth studio album released November 21st, 1995 under Def Jam. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it.
A man sharp like a box cutter. I got the fam rolling like brothers. We in the.
Sorry if my hair is kind of crazy. I wasn't thinking about doing anything to it before I got on video, but it don't matter. The first song we have on this album is Make It Hot. I thought this song was a pretty good first listen for the first track on the album. I think the sampling was honestly very good, very nostalgic like, and they kind of had their own hip hop version of it. So I kind of enjoyed it a lot. I feel like the lyrics from LL Cool J on this was decent. I really didn't like the first part because it gave too much of that 80s kind of flow, and if y'all know that 80s flow of rap, it's really like cringe to me. I'm not even gonna lie, I really don't like the 80s flow or cadence from back in the 80s because it just sounds so like, it just sounds cringe to me. I don't know why, but he didn't do that throughout the whole song, but it's just the first part of the song I was like, ugh. But then once it got to the second half, or just, in the middle of the song, that's when it started, getting a little better. But I enjoyed the production overall. I feel like his lyrics were dope towards the end. Just the beginning part I was just like iffy on, but I feel like he flowed through the track very well. His cadence was honestly pretty good. He was able to keep up with the production overall, and just great sampling. I would just say this is a good first song to start off the album.
I know you love it, the game is so irresistible a touch. You should see me with Phoenix for microphone that I can clutch.
Next song we got on here is Hip Hop. I really like this song a lot. I definitely enjoyed it a whole bunch. Getting into the production, I feel like the sampling again was very iconic. I love the sampling in the background, and just the women kind of singing in the background being the ad-libs, or you could just say on the hook, because they were pretty much on the hook. And it was just a real mellow listen. It was just a real jazzy, mellow listen. I really enjoyed it a lot. With a really good beat type, like I said, had its own like hip-hop mix to it, which elevated the track even more. But getting into the lyrics, I feel like was very important, because obviously LL Cool J paid homage. Sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up, but he paid homage to all the rappers before him, and pretty much in the current system of 1995 at that time. And I thought that was really dope, because for LL Cool J, for his stature, is considered one of the greatest rappers of all time. And for him to pay homage to the new up-and-coming rappers like Nas at that time, Wu-Tang, Tupac, Biggie, just to name a few, and then pay homage to people he was battling with like Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, like those kind of rappers, I think was very iconic, and a great homage to pay to all the rappers that came before and obviously after. So I think this song really stands out for that reason. It's personally one of my favorite songs, and just has a good upbeat overall.
It was Harlem at the Ruckers. I saw you with your man, smiling, a Coach bag in your hand. I was.
Next song we got on here is Hey Lover, featuring Boys to Men. I thought this song was honestly pretty good. I like the sampling once again. There's a lot of samples on this album that's just like nostalgic wise, where it's like, dang, you remember when you first heard this for the first time, and it definitely just sounds good again with a good little hip hop mix, and it's a very mellow track overall. It's more of just a finding your love kind of track overall. But I feel like the Boys to Men on the hook was obviously very amazing. Just them being in the background singing their harmonies, I thought was really dope overall. Lyrics wise, I feel like LL Cool J did his thing. Um, I feel like the context of this song may not be like something you could take advice on, because obviously he's trying to steal somebody's like girl from a relationship, which I'm not sure if I advise anybody to do that, but if you got game like that, if you got, everything put together, then you can do that. And LL Cool J could honestly do that at any point because he's LL Cool J, especially at that time. Like, he could have pulled any girl he really wanted to, but overall, I feel like the context was honestly pretty decent. It wouldn't be something I would take as advice, but I feel like the song overall is very nostalgic. It definitely brings back memories because I remember hearing this at some point when I was younger. So it definitely stands out above a lot of other songs. And I would say this is honestly a really good song as well. And obviously one of the more popular songs on this album.
It's our first time together and I'm feeling kinda horny. Conventional methods of making love kinda bore me.
Next song we got on here is Doing It featuring LaShawn. I'm not gonna lie, right off the rip, this is LL Cool J's one of his most popular songs, if not the most popular song in his entire catalog. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like this song just due to it being already sexual. Like, it's not that I'm against sexual kind of things, but like, this song was just like, I couldn't even really listen to this from front to back. Obviously, if you're like a person that maybe don't know who LL Cool J is, you would probably know this song because this song was like really popular at one point. I feel like the production was a little outdated. It felt like staticky in some parts, and it felt old school, but like maybe not in the best way. It just sounded really outdated, like from like the 60s or something. But I feel like the sampling was okay. The beat type was cool. The lyrics is really just sexual talk. Like, it's really just not for kids overall. And obviously Lashana kind of being the feature, I think she did good. I mean, the only memorable part about her was her just kind of uh, moaning in the background. Like, that's the only memorable part that she was able to give me, at least. I didn't really care about her performance like that. This is just one of those songs where like you hear it one good time and you're like, okay, but I don't think you're like trying to listen to it like a whole bunch. Like, I personally wouldn't. So if I'm being honest, this is a skip for me. It's not a bad song, but it's just not a song I'm in the mood to listen to at any point, at any time, really. So to sum it up, this is really for the ladies. Let me just sum it up like that.
Get the burner, let loose the cannon. Blood dripping, slipping off my planet.
Next song we have on here is Life As. I thought this song was cool. It was definitely different from a lot of the other songs that I previously just named. I feel like the production just brought a whole different style. It definitely brought like true hip hop sound oriented, just in general. I feel like it was kind of like that boom bap kind of beat type, which I like boom bap, so I thought that was very enjoyable. So I enjoyed the production overall. It was a little outdated, like a little low quality in a way, but I feel like it definitely brought like that inner LL Cool J that you didn't hear at the beginning part that you hear in this track, because he definitely does sound more aggressive on here. He sounds more just like, he just sounds younger too, if I'm being honest. I don't know if this is a track that was hidden from like the 80s that he decided to put on this album, but he definitely sounds younger and just more aggressive on this song. And this song is pretty short. It's not nothing too long, but I feel like it's still enjoyable till this day. I just feel like the production is a little low quality, but I feel like his lyrics were definitely dope. He flowed on the track very well. I would say it's one of the more underrated songs, but due to the production, it might just be properly rated. So overall, I would say a good song nonetheless.
Check it, I shot ya. I'm slitting brothers open like a doctor. You fell asleep, the vampire teeth got ya.
Next song we got on here is I Shot Ya featuring Keith Murray. I thought this song was honestly pretty good. It's obviously one of the more popular songs on this album, if not the most popular song in LL Cool J's catalog. I feel like the production was definitely very aggressive. I like the piano sound to add a little touch to it, but it definitely seemed like kind of that, brawl kind of fight that you would hear in a street fight or something. It definitely just sounded very aggressive and just very fight oriented. So I enjoyed that a lot. The beat type was honestly really good. The lyrics on this one was really, really good, especially Keith Murray, which I think is an underrated rapper that many people don't, talk about enough. But Keith Murray's first verse was very tough on here. And LL Cool J came very aggressive as well. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like this is a diss track, but I just don't know towards who. So if y'all could let me know in the comments down below who he's talking about, like just let me know. If he's not talking about anybody, then that's very surprising. But this feels like a diss track, but maybe it's a diss track to the industry. I don't know. But I enjoyed this song a lot. I think it has good nostalgic to it, and even the hook is pretty catchy. So it's definitely something to listen to a couple more times because it's definitely a good track.
To the top, leave a smoke in my trail. Bitch ass gangsters put that ass on sale.
Next song we got on here is self-titled Mr. Smith. I enjoyed this track a little bit. I feel like out of all the energetic songs we heard before, this is kind of just more of a downslope, and it didn't blend in, or the placement just didn't. I don't know, the placement of the song right next to I Shot Ya, just it doesn't work for me. So the placement is not good. I feel like the production is definitely very much on the mellow side. It's a little more chill. It's not nothing too crazy. The beat type was okay. I feel like his lyrics though were pretty dope. I feel like he was able to flow through the track very well, but compared to a lot of the other songs, it is kind of a boring kind of track. And it's not something you would really want to pay attention to after I Shot You, basically, is what I'm saying. So on the other end, it's still a good song, but the placement is just not very good.
Spectacular, vernacular, miraculous, raw-ish, scooped off the concrete to make a hit.
Next song we got on here is No Airplay. I thought this song was decent. I struggled with it at the beginning part because I thought it was like a skit at first, because it was like a long duration of just like talking and crowd chanting and stuff like that at the beginning. So I'm like, okay, is this like one of those skippable things? And it wound up getting into the track surely, but slowly but surely. Let me switch that around. But I feel like the production on here was okay. I feel like there wasn't much effort at all. I feel like he kind of grabbed a sampling of just like a weird kind of humming sound and then kind of threw a beat type on it. And I feel like it wasn't that creative, if I'm being honest, and it sounded very low quality for the most part. But getting into the lyrics, I feel like the lyrics were okay. I just didn't like the whole scratching the voice kind of thing. I know the song is called No Airplay, and some of the songs are some of the words he can't say on the track to basically get airplay. I think y'all get what I'm saying. Like, in order for him to get this track on the radio, he can't say certain cuss words, which is understandable, but he over abused it on this song, and it just kind of, it's not a song that I would enjoy listening to that often. But I feel like for first listen, it's okay. But I'm not that interested in listening to it a second, third, or fourth time. It's just not a consistent song you can listen to that much. So overall, I would say it's okay at best.
Make it hot.
Next song we got on here is Loungin' featuring Terry and Monica. I thought this song was honestly pretty nice. It definitely brought like an exciting feel to it, so I enjoyed that a lot. The production is definitely very like um maybe newer disco kind of jazzy feel to it. It definitely brought like some good like vibes to it. It's something you could like dance to, for instance. So it was definitely good for that purpose. It had really creative sounds just around the song. So I really enjoyed that a lot. A really good beat type as well. The features from Terry and Monica. Did I say her name right? Yeah, Terry and Monica. I thought they were good on the hook. They definitely matched the energy of the production overall. I feel like LL Cool J's rapping performance was very well put together. He flowed extremely well. He did his thing. He was able to just mess with the track on a different level. And I probably forgot to say this, but this is obviously one of the more popular songs on the album, if not the most popular song in LL Cool J's catalog. And it's definitely just like a dancey kind of song. This is just a song you would hear in a club and you would, you know, dance to. So overall, I feel like this song was honestly pretty good.
If you saw the movie Wall Street, I guess you know the way I stack chips and regulate wild dough. But ain't no G funk.
Next song we got on here is Hollies to Hollywood. I enjoyed this track a lot. Uh, let's just start off with the production. The production is definitely amazing. I love the creative sounds around this production, especially the beat type. The beat type is really hard on here. But the way LL Cool J was so smooth and flowish on this track was incredible. His cadence was amazing. His lyrics were very dope. He had probably the best rap performance on this song than probably any other song on this track, I would argue. And I would also argue this is his most underrated song on this album and probably my favorite song on this album. Like I have to be honest because he's just very like he sounds very motivated on this song. Not to say he didn't on other songs, but this song is just it's a different kind of energy and the production matches it so well. I'm surprised how underrated this song is, honestly, and it still sounds good till this day. Like it's definitely a very great quality song. So I would have to say just amazing song nonetheless, and definitely a good listen. Y'all should definitely listen to it if y'all haven't.
Flow, son, no doubt God is real. Every member of my clique is equipped with steel.
Next song we got on here is God Bless. I feel like this song was pretty low key for the most part. It wasn't nothing too special. I just feel like this is kind of one of the songs he just played it safe and was just like, hey, let me throw this track on here. I feel like the production was cool. The sampling was nice. The beat type was honestly pretty cool. It just has a really good upbeat for the most part, but the production like sound isn't nothing crazy. It's just very simple. It's basic, but it again has a good upbeat. I feel like the lyrics were cool. He had a different cadence that was a little slower. It wasn't nothing to really pay attention to. It's really just one of those tracks where you just kind of kick back and just listen to, and I don't think anybody would like dislike this song. I think it's just an acceptable song overall. There just wasn't much context to take from it overall. I mean, the self-titled being God Bless, I mean, like I said, there just isn't much there for me to really bounce off of. So overall, it's an acceptable song. It's a song that you could listen to every now and then, but it's not a song that you would pay attention to that much. So that's what I gotta say about that.
Rail, the undisputed, I'm never ever diluted or polluted. You confuse it if you choose it, cause it's deep rooted.
Next song we got on here is Get the Drop on Them. I almost wanted to say it. I'm not even gonna lie. This song is honestly very catchy. I feel like the hook was instantly catchy. He does say a specific word that many people can't say, but some people can, like me. But I think y'all get the idea. I feel like the production overall was something I had to kind of catch on to. It took me a while to really like it, but I honestly enjoy it a lot more now. It has a good upbeat. It brings kind of the different instruments in it that sounds very unique overall. And it kind of brings kind of that, you know, how can I put it? Kind of southern sound, but also still that New York sound as well. So I definitely enjoyed the production a lot. I feel like the lyrics were definitely really dope on here. I would argue this is another underrated song on the album, and I feel like this song is just enjoyable because it has a really catchy hook overall, and I feel like his performance on here was very well put together. He was flowing on the track, probably like every other track on here. He just flows through the track very well. He probably has one of the top 10 best flows in hip hop like history, if I'm being honest. But this song was just really good. I actually enjoyed it a lot. It's personally on my playlist, I believe. So definitely a dope track. Next song, or my bad, last song we have on this album is I Shot Ya Remix featuring Keith Murray, Prodigy, Fat Joe, and Foxy Brown. Um, for this to be the last song is low key a cop out. I'm not even gonna lie. I am not a big fan of remixes on certain songs because the remixes I feel like make the song worse. Now, I will never say that the features on here made the song worse, but it's just I don't really care for it that much. I feel like they had pretty good verses overall. Prodigy's verse was cool, Fat Joe's verse was cool, Foxy Brown's verse was cool, but it's just not a song I would go back to because I don't really care for remixes that much. The production sounds just the same. Um, the sound of it sounds the same. Like just everything sounds the same. They just added features on it. So honestly, did it need to have a remix? Personally, for me, no. But I can appreciate having Fat Joe and Prodigy and Foxy Brown on it. I can pay them homage for that, but it wasn't really needed. And like I said, to add a remix as your last song on the album is like again a cop out. So I'm probably gonna be on the pass for this song just because I don't see myself listening to this version that much. The first version and the original, yes, but this version, not really. So it is time to get though to the final thoughts. My final thoughts on this album, I feel like overall it was definitely pretty consistent throughout the track. There really weren't any necessarily bad songs. There weren't no songs I would necessarily skip. There was maybe like two songs that I'd probably skip over, but it's not like major skips like, oh, turn this off. It's just like, can you go to the next song? Like I heard this song 1,000 times. I feel like it definitely brought a lot of nostalgic due to like a lot of the samplings from like R&B music back in the day that he was able to bring in today's hip hop at that time and kind of mix it up with a hip hop feel, which was I think a nice touch. His flow on every track was obviously very good. He didn't mess up. I feel like the features were honestly pretty decent. I think they were better than what I thought they were. I feel like the beginning of the track started off very strong. Towards the end, it kind of dwindled down a little bit. Not too much, but it just kind of took the excitement out of the first part of the album, if that makes any sense. So I feel like this is just one of those albums that he kind of played safe for the most part. I don't think he was trying to prove too much because at this point in time, I don't think LL Cool J had much to prove anyways. He was already mentioned as one of the GOAT rappers at that time. So I believe with this being kind of the first LL Cool J album I've ever listened to, I would say it's a good listen, but I genuinely feel like he has a better album than this. And I hope he does because I don't think this is his best performance album. I feel like there's better performance albums that he's able to give me that's already out there, hopefully. But I think this was just a good starter if you've never heard of LL Cool J or you want to maybe start getting into his music. I would say this is a good startup to his catalog. But overall, I feel like this is just one of the albums he pretty much played safe. He didn't add much context to the album. There wasn't much performance that he really worked on compared to maybe his other songs previously. I just feel like this one he was just really playing it cool, and I think surprisingly he got nominated for Rap Album of the Year. Not that that's that surprising, but I think y'all get what I mean. Like, it's just to the point where out of all his albums, this album kind of got nominated. So um overall, I feel like this album's good. They're just, I don't know. It's just, again, one of them albums that play it safe. It's really hard to rate overall, but I'll give y'all my final verdict once I come up with a final verdict, obviously. All right, y'all. So I finally came out with a final verdict of this album, and my final verdict is a 7.5 out of 10. That will conclude today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, like, comment, and subscribe. Also, comment down below what other rap albums y'all want me to do. Also, click the link down in my description for all my social medias. But yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one.